गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः
शिवाय नमः
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः
हर हर हराय नमः
हर हर हराय नमः
हर हर हराय नमः
हर हर हराय नमः
शिव शिव शिवाय नमः
शिव शिव शिवाय नमः
शिव शिव शिवाय नमः
शिव शिव शिवाय नमः
साईश्वराय नमः
साईश्वराय नमः
सत्य साईश्वराय नमः
सत्य साईश्वराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
गंगाधराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः
ओम नमः शिवाय नमः
हर हर हराय नमः
हर हर हराय नमः
शिव शिव शिवाय नमः
शिव शिव शिवाय नमः
साईश्वराय नमः
साईश्वराय नमः
सत्य साईश्वराय नमः
सत्य साईश्वराय नमः
चंद्रशेखराय नमः
बोलो नारायणा जय जय विठ्ठला
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 साई नारायणा रंग रंग 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 विठ्ठला
बोलो नारायणा जय जय विठ्ठला
बोलो नारायणा जय जय
गोविंद विठ्ठला रखुमाई विठ्ठला
गोविंद विठ्ठला रखुमाई विठ्ठला
गोविंद विठ्ठला रखुमाई विठ्ठला
गोविंद विठ्ठला रखुमाई
गोपाल विठ्ठला पांडुरंग विठ्ठला
गोपाल विठ्ठला पांडुरंग विठ्ठला
गोपाल विठ्ठला पांडुरंग विठ्ठला
गोपाल विठ्ठला पांडुरंग विठ्ठला
श्रीरंग विठ्ठला साई रंग 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 विठ्ठला
बोलो नारायण नारायणा जय जय विठ्ठला
बोलो नारायणा जय जय विठ्ठला
साई नारायणा रंग रंग विठ्ठला
साई नारायणा रंग रंग विठ्ठला
बोलो नारायणा जय जय विठ्ठला
नारायणा जय जय
गोविंद विठ्ठला रखुमाई विठ्ठला
गोविंद विठ्ठला रखुमाई विठ्ठला
गोपाल विठ्ठला पांडुरंग विठ्ठला
गोपाल विठ्ठला पांडुरंग विठ्ठला
श्रीरंग विठ्ठला साई रंग 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 विठ्ठला
बोलो नारायणा जय जय विठ्ठला
Καλησπέρα σε όλους. Welcome. Καλώς ήρθατε. My name is Anna, and I am your Master of Ceremonies for today. I'm taking this opportunity to welcome everyone to this wonderful evening. On behalf of everyone here in Greece, I'm taking the opportunity to welcome Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, who has come here again after 5 long years. Collectively, we would also like to welcome all the students traveling from Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, which is a completely free tuition university founded in India by Sadguru. We also welcome all our guests who have come here from Dubai, London, and India. Welcome. For all those from Greece who are here for the very first time, a very warm welcome to all of you tonight at this event in the presence of Sadguru. The title Sadguru is derived from the ancient Indian language of Sanskrit, meaning one who preaches the truth. And what is that truth? The truth is that we are all one. We are all connected as humans, and therefore we are all one global family. This is the motto and the philosophy of this global NGO led by Sadguru, which has a presence in around 32 countries, and it's constantly expanding to more countries all over the world. Millions of needy and underprivileged are served through free education or free food or free healthcare or any other social welfare initiatives. Sadguru's mission is to cultivate the culture of compassion and love in human society. Even here in Greece, he keeps inspiring us, and we, following his example and guidance, we become more and more active in social service. As a welcome presentation, we will begin this evening with a musical program. Let us call upon Dimitris Lambrianos and the musicians. Mr. Lambrianos, would you like to address us with a few words, please?
My name is Dimitris Lambrianos, and I'm coming from this particular city, Athens, and specifically from Piraeus. And the last 8-9 years I live in India, and under Sadhguru's guidance we created a symphony orchestra, a large symphony orchestra, which is actually the largest symphony orchestra in the country. And the beauty of this orchestra and the uniqueness is the fact that the orchestra consists of students who are coming from remote villages. And we have many music teachers here. We have Srinivas Viswananda, who is a Carnatic teacher and musician, Pranav Kashyap also, who is teaching Hindustani music. And I have some old friends who we are going to play all together. We have Athanasios Peltoureas, who is going to play violin. We have Mikhail Romanov, who's going to play piano. And we have Fotis Apostolaras bass, Panos Skouteris, who is going to play clarinet, and Angeliki Pardali, who are part of the Pedaiho group, who are propagating the Greek culture and the folk music very well, actually. And who else is there? Did I forget anybody else? Yorgos Altis is a bouzouki player also, who is also an author. He's writing all the biographies of the great bouzouki players. And my student Asvin Sundaram, who is studying Carnatic music flute, but he's playing also Western flute, violin in the symphony orchestra, and piano. Thank you very much.
Now we would like to call upon Mr. George Soufas to formally welcome the gathering and also share a few words about Sadguru's foundation here in Greece. The name of the foundation is Μοιράζομαι, which means sharing. And as a little boy said yesterday, sharing is caring.
What can I say after such a performance? The words are too poor. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you, and especially our guests from India. We are very privileged today to have with us Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai and his entourage after 4 years in Greece. His mission to uplift the human pain, to support education and healthcare is unique and an inspiration to all of us. Thank you, and we're very honored to have you here. I once read a beautiful story and really touched my heart, and I wanted to share it with you. A master and his disciple were seeking alms, food, and they stopped by a small house. Whether the tiny size of the house was more worthy of one's attention or its dilapidated conditions was anyone's guess. Praise the Lord, called the master, and knocked the door. We have come for alms, food. There was no response from anyone. Bixman dehi, he said in a loud voice, again, and waited for a minute. No one came out. In line with their tradition, he made the third and final call. Soon a little girl came out. Sorry, master, she said, we have nothing to give you. The monk looked at her lovingly and said, don't say no, my daughter. Can you give me just a handful of dust from the ground? Dust? She asked, surprised. Yes, a handful will do. Obliging the master, the girl bent down, took a bit of mud, and put it in the master's bowl. He blessed her and walked away. The disciple was both intrigued and upset. Intrigued because he thought his master's actions was absurd, and upset because, according to their tradition, they were only permitted to receive food from only one house on any given day. Who eats dust? Will have to do with water today. My master lost his mind or what? Why, master? He said, unable to control his curiosity. What are we going to eat? We could have just visited the next house and received proper alms. My son, the master said, by remaining hungry today, we have transformed one life. The disciple couldn't make sense of this statement, while the master continued speaking. I introduced her to the joy and merit of charity. Aj dul di kai kalpul bi degi. Today, she learned to give a handful of earth. One day, she will give a flower too. So it is with sadhana, the path of elevating our life and others by continually purifying ourselves. Today, if we undertake a small spiritual practice, overcome a small hurdle, tomorrow we'll be able to take on a bigger challenge, a more advanced one. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, I am honored to stand before you today to discuss two of the most powerful forces that shape our world, love and service to others. Love is a universal language that transcends barriers of language, culture, and belief. It is the essence of our humanity, the driving force behind our connections with one another, and the foundation of all meaningful relationships. Love has the power to heal, bridge divides, and bring people together in ways that nothing else can. When we approach life with love in our hearts, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We become more compassionate, more understanding, and more willing to see the humanity in each and every one of others, and also to consider the well-being of others, to act with kindness, generosity, and empathy. Service to others is the natural extension of love in action. It is the selfless act of giving, helping, and supporting those in need. Service is not just about what we do for others, but about how we make them feel valued, respected, and cared for. When we serve others, we do not only uplift them, but also ourselves. It is through service to others that we find purpose, fulfillment, and a deep sense of connection to the world around us. Imagine a world where love and service to others are at the core of our values and actions, a world where we prioritize the well-being of our fellow human beings, where we extend a helping hand to those in need, and where we nurture a culture of kindness, compassion, and empathy. In a society, as we know, that emphasizes individualism and self-interest, it is more important than ever to remind ourselves of the transformative power of love and service to others. It is through these acts of kindness and generosity that we can truly make a difference in the lives of others. Let us commit ourselves to spreading love and practicing service to others in their daily lives. This can be done with a word, with a feeling, with a deed. We don't have to offer something monetary only, or something in substance, but only our feelings. Together, let's build a society where love and service are not just ideals to aspire to, but the guiding principles that shape our interactions, our decisions, our daily life. Let us create a world where everyone is seen, heard, and valued, when no one is left behind. It is Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai that has inspired us with his mission and service across the globe to start this effort from our side and from seeing so much need and pain. In this light, we started our charity work in Athens a few years ago with a simple mission: to provide food to the people that are hungry. And maybe few of us know that this feeling of hunger, but there are fellow human beings that do not have a meal a day. We saw 10 years ago immigrants in the port of Piraeus, mothers with babies coming out, thirsty, hungry. That was our calling. This resonated in our hearts, and with inspiration from Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, this work emanated to incorporate the foundation Mirazome in Greek, or sharing with others. In Hindu tradition, it is said that the one who benefits more is the one who gives, as well as the one who receives. Every Saturday, all year round, a team of 40 to 50 people, regulars and not, share and taste this love in action, cooking 800 meals every week for our fellows in need. After 10 years now, we believe we have done little, but our vision is not to solve the problem ourselves. It will be impossible. Our vision is to serve and to inspire. We would like now to show you a short video of the activities of the Μοιράζομαι the Foundation, and for you to feel also this work that is done with inspiration of Sadguru. I would like to thank you very much for your attention.
Now we will watch another short video about the global mission, the global service.
One world, one family, an ancient ethos that ensures happy and harmonious living is the mission statement of the young humanitarian and visionary Sri Madhusudan Sai, who walks the footsteps of his master, Sri Sathya Sai Baba, the 21st century spiritual master and philanthropist. Christened as the Sri Madhusudan Sai Global Humanitarian Mission, several institutions of public service have been established in just the last 12 years, touching and transforming the lives of millions of individuals across 32 countries, with its epicenter at Sathya Sai Grama in the village of Muddinahalli near Bengaluru Airport in the South Indian state of Karnataka. Drawing its inspiration from Sri Sathya Sai Baba's message of love all, serve all, this mission aligns with the promise of the 2030 UN Agenda for Sustainable Development, leaving no one behind. Its charitable trust, the Prashanthi Balamandira Trust, which is in consultative status with the Economic and Social Council since June 2023, has been officially registered on the National Stock Exchange's Social Stock Exchange as a social entity, not-for-profit organization. Nutrition, education, and healthcare are fundamental rights of every human being and every child, and it is the collective responsibility of the society to ensure that these basic needs are made accessible and available for all without any discrimination and absolutely free of cost, believes Sri Madhusudan Sai. Thus, it all began. Let no child go to school hungry ever is the motto of the Annapurna Morning Nutrition Program, which started in the year 2012. Today, healthy morning nutrition in the form of cooked breakfast or through the Sai Show multi-nutrient supplement is served to 9 million school-going children in 25 states and 4 union territories in India and 5 countries overseas. 678 million nutritious morning meals have been served as on date by India's largest morning nutrition program. Feed the World is yet another global nutrition movement that has served about 5 million meals to needy homeless individuals in over 15 countries. In the field of education, this mission has established about 28 educational campuses in India and 2 campuses overseas to bestow values-based education completely free of cost to about 4,500 children from the rural strata of society from grade 6 right up till doctorate studies. The Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, which is the higher education wing, has established India's first free private rural medical college, Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research, on the 25th of March 2023, and it was inaugurated by the Honourable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. With the vision, in the rural, of the rural and for the rural, the college has commenced with 50 students in September 2023, and it shall mould rural youth into capable and compassionate healthcare professionals to serve rural geographies. The university celebrated its second convocation on the 3rd of July 2023. Srimati Draupadi Murmu, the Honourable President of India, presided over the convocation and gave away gold medals to 17 students and conferred honorary doctorates to 5 eminent individuals. About 50% of these students are first-generation graduates, and about 66% hail from families that are below the poverty line. On the healthcare vertical, over 29,000 pediatric heart surgeries and cath interventions have been done since inception in 2012 through 5 single specialty heart care hospitals in India, the Sri Sathya Sai Sanjeevani Centres for Child Heart Care at Chhattisgarh, Haryana, Maharashtra, Telangana and Karnataka, and 2 such hospitals in Fiji and Sri Lanka. It is the world's largest chain of pediatric cardiac hospitals without billing counters. Conducting research, academic and training programs in pediatric cardiology, nursing and allied healthcare services are other functions of these hospitals. 5 specialized Sri Sathya Sai Sanjeevani Mother and Child Hospitals, 15 Sai Swasthya Primary Care Wellness Centers, Sri Sathya Sai Arogya Vahini Mobile Hospital Services, Aruike Multi-Specialty Hospitals in Nigeria, Sathya Sai Sanjeevani Medical Center at Clarksdale in the Mississippi state of USA, 2 multi-specialty hospitals, Sri Sathya Sai Sarla Memorial Hospital in Karnataka and Sai Arogya Multi-Specialty Hospital at Kuchipudi, Andhra Pradesh, are providing their services completely free of cost to the needy. Sri Sathya Sai Sarla Memorial Hospital adorns an additional feather to its cap for being the teaching hospital for India's first free private rural medical college, Sri Madhusudan Sai Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. 11 centers for human development have also been set up across 10 countries for conducting several service and spiritual activities. In the last 12 years, 200 million USD have been invested globally for these benevolent acts of goodness through which several lives are being illumined every single day. Sri Madhusudan Sai says, "In a society, it is always about the survival of the weakest and not survival of the fittest. We must develop this sensitivity towards the needs of the less privileged and must hold ourselves responsible for each other. Only then can we create an equitable society for the future generation. The onus is on each of us, for the inevitable truth is that every individual's prosperity depends on society's collective prosperity. After all, we are all one connected whole." One world, one family.
On behalf of all seated here, I would like to request Sadguru to address all of us this evening. Thank you, Sadguru.
After such a wonderful music program, followed by even better a talk by Yorgos Sufas, I really find it difficult to keep the audience engaged. But since I'm here and I have a duty to perform, I would like to share a few thoughts with all the people who are here about the great cultures of Greece and India, which have stood the test of times and have served as beacons of hope for the whole humanity. This mission, called One World, One Family, is borrowed from an ancient Indian idea which says, Udara Charitanam tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. For the broad-minded ones, the whole world is one family. And I read somewhere, then when Socrates was questioned about his philosophy, he said, "I am not an Athenian, I am not Greek, but I am a citizen of the world." The same idea was also propagated in those ancient times in Greece, that we are all members of one world family. We are citizens of the world. And after that, we are citizens of our country. But first, we are all members of this one world family. Having learned this common culture of both the countries, it's only natural for somebody like Yorgos to serve in this country through this foundation of sharing, because when somebody around is hungry, it's a member of our family who is hungry. And therefore, just like how we would do to our own children, we must do to the people around us. And that is the idea of being one family. When I was watching the video of the work that is being done by the foundation here in Greece, in Athens specifically, for the refugees, for the children in the poor children in the children's homes, for the elderly at the hospitals, in schools, it made me feel very happy. Because I truly felt it was not just being done as an obligation or as charity, but it was being done with great love, as you would do for your own people. When a mother serves breakfast to the child, she has no expectations. She doesn't demand money in return. She does it out of love. Similarly, when father works hard all day to provide for the family, he has no expectations because he does it out of love. So also a brother for brother and a sister for sister. They all do what they do for each other out of this feeling that we are just one family. And what he said just now, what if the whole world lives with this value system of love and service? When we think all are ours and therefore we must love and serve everyone, what a wonderful place this would be. We don't have to look for heaven elsewhere. This very earth will become heaven when we all live like what he said, with the idea of loving and serving each other. So at our mission, which is spread across 30 plus countries, in every country a work like this happens every day, where somebody who is hungry is fed, somebody who is naked is clothed, somebody who is homeless is sheltered, somebody who is illiterate is educated, somebody who is sick is treated, and somebody who is lonely is given company. And this is the way we spread love and service to the whole world. Today we also happen to visit some of the ancient sites in Greece, in Athens, the Parthenon and the amphitheater Acropolis. And I saw the ruins over there. And our students were there. They were on an educational trip. And they are learning about the world cultures. And I asked the tour guide, who destroyed all these beautiful things? And she explained that how many invaders came, they attacked, they destroyed this culture, they tried to convert the ancient temple into a mosque or a church or something or the other. And still there are wars going on in this world. We haven't learned much from our past, our history. We have warred, we have destroyed, we have desecrated, decimated so much of our ancient culture, and still we are fighting. Even as we sit today here quite comfortably, there are people out there in the cold in some country, victims of the war. What can we do for them? Maybe from here we can all pray for their welfare and safety. But more importantly, we must act. We must show them how one should live in the society by loving and serving whomever we come across. And that is the idea of this mission. We want to help anybody who comes our way in whatsoever way we can with our capacities that we have. And as George said, it's not necessary that we always can give something to them, but sometimes just being around for our people, to be able to say a kind word, to be able to sit by their side when they are in difficult times, to just put our arms around their shoulders and say, we are there with you. That goes a long way in building a healthier and happier society. I think what is lacking today is this idea that we are here for a purpose, and the purpose is just not to make ourselves happy. The purpose is to make everyone happy around us. There is a parable which goes this way, that it seems once a saint went up and he went to the hell and to the heaven. And he saw that in heaven everybody was happy, that we all know. In hell everybody was sad. But both were more or less in similar conditions when it came to the people who lived there. All their hands were tied with sticks, it seems. The people in the hell, their hands were also tied with sticks so that they could not fold their hands to eat. In heaven also, all their hands were tied with sticks and they could not fold either. But people in heaven were happy and well fed, whereas people in hell were all angry and hungry, what we call nowadays hangry. What was the difference? The difference was, in heaven, each was feeding the other because they could not feed themselves. They were feeding the person sitting opposite. Whereas in hell, everybody was trying to feed themselves and they could not. They're dropping the food all over, and they were angry and hungry, and they were insulting and scolding each other. But they could not feed each other. That's all is the difference between hell and heaven. Whether we make this world a heaven or a hell, it depends on us. When we only want to feed and look after ourselves selfishly, the world becomes a hell. When we also look after each other and do what we can for each other, then the same world becomes heaven. This is the idea of this mission, that we must create heaven out of this world. Why? Because we are all citizens of this one world. We might be safer in certain countries and might be having difficulties in another country. But as a world, we are one family, and looking after each other is our primary purpose for which we are here. Again, going back to the very ancient philosophy of Greece, where they talked about justice as a cardinal value. And what is justice? Justice is not only when somebody who takes away your rights and you fight for your rights, or somebody who does some wrong and you want to set it right. But every day when somebody in the world is not having access to some basic fundamental requirements like food, shelter, education and health, it is injustice. How can we live in a world of haves on one side and have-nots on the other? and still call ourselves a society. In a society, it is not the survival of the fittest, it is the survival of the weakest. In jungle, it is the survival of the fittest, the mightiest, the strongest. But in a society, it has to be about the survival of the weakest, the vulnerable, and the last and the least, who cannot look after themselves. And it's our collective responsibility to look after each other. And that's how we create heaven. I also have here many guests who have come from different parts of the world. They all are part of this mission. They are doing their own service in their own countries. We have people from Dubai, India, we have from the United Kingdom, and we have from, that's about it, I think, this year. And then students who are here from our university, they all are on this mission. I always tell them, your welfare lies in the welfare of everyone. COVID times taught us that. Nobody could stay healthy all by oneself. Everybody had to be healthy for one to be healthy. If anybody caught infection, you caught infection too, sooner or later. But you were not spared. And for once we understood what it means to be a society, what it means to be responsible for each other. And again, if you look at poverty, I think it's worse pandemic than COVID. It is spreading so fast. And someday or the other, it will lead to revolutions and rebellion and unrest in the society, which will come knocking at our doorsteps too. We won't be able to seclude and isolate ourselves from the problems of the world just because we are richer or we are mightier than the others. The problem will knock on our doors also sooner or later. And before such a world happens, where all hell breaks loose, where everybody is unhappy and angry, and because of which nobody can live in peace, let us make it into heaven. Let us transform it to heaven. And that can be done when every one of us does a little good every day. I tell, as they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. I say a good deed a day keeps selfishness away, keeps your ego away. So just one good deed a day is all that I have come to tell you to do. It could be a kind word to somebody as fellow human being. It could be a smile to a stranger. It could be maybe a packet of food to somebody who is hungry. It could be helping a kid with his education. It could be treating the sick, the one who cannot afford health care. Or it could be simply being around for somebody who is lonely and desperate. In any which ways we can help the world. And every day when we do one good deed, the world becomes heaven one day at a time, one person at a time. So we want to create this heaven in this world, and that requires each of us to do our bit. That is to serve somebody, to help somebody, to love somebody other than those who belong to us. That's our duty. I'm not talking about duty, I'm talking beyond the call of duty, which is to help each other. We also have a very eminent cardiac surgeon, Professor Kalangos, who is from Greek origins, and he is running a global mission of providing pediatric heart care to children around the world. And his noble wife, Dr. Natalia, could not be here today. She is in Ukraine, but he is here with his children, and he is also part of this mission. And though he is Greek, but his heart beats for the whole world. And he has pledged and promised to help our heart hospitals develop the right kind of skill sets to help more poor children around the world. As you've heard, all the services are provided free of cost, because in a family we don't charge each other. A mother doesn't give you a bill at the end of your breakfast. This is what it costed to feed you today. Pay it up now. Or a father does not send you a bill at the end of the day. This is your education fee. This is what costed for your internet and mobile. This is what your fuel charges and electricity for today. No father does that. So also as a hospital, we don't do that. Anybody who comes gets free health care. Anybody who comes to our school gets free education. Anybody who is hungry comes to the institution gets free food. And whatever we can provide other than that, we also do. I'm very glad that a spark of this service is burning bright here in Greece, thanks to George and everybody else, the entire team which is here. And when I was talking to his son, Sai Narayan, yesterday and asked him, what do you want? Now he has this typical habit. Last time when I had come 4 years ago, he called me to his room and he got his piggy bank. He had collected a lot of coins and some notes he must have got as gifts from his parents and elders. And he gave it all to me saying, this is for hungry children. You must help children with this. I was so touched. He was hardly 5 or 6 years old at that point in time, but he had the heart. And yesterday when I talked to him and I asked him, what do you want from me? He said, Swami, we want to build a bigger place to cook food for more people. Right now the place is very small, but we want to build a bigger place. Look at that little child's ambition. Look at his heart, which feels for somebody who is hungry. And this afternoon, before I could come for the program, he was hovering around my room. He was going up and down and wanted my attention. So after some time when I called him, he brought me some flowers and a note which said this is his savings in the last couple of whatever months, and that came to 170 euros that he had saved. And he wanted to give it to me. He was so eager to do it, and he came and gave it to me, and I asked him, what do I do with this? He said, you will use it to help others. I said, okay, then if you're giving, definitely I'll use it to help some other children. That is the culture of giving that children are born with. Children are naturally selfless. Children are naturally compassionate. Children are naturally loving and sharing and caring. As Alexander, the other boy, was telling, sharing and caring is what we must do. It's only when we grow up that we lose all these beautiful values. We become selfish because somebody tells us, don't give it to them, they are not ours. Give only to these, they are ours. If you give them, we will get nothing in return. If you give these, we will get something in return. These conditions are taught to the children, unfortunately, by the society, and we corrupt them. We contaminate their purity. But if we all can become children and live like them, unconditionally, unselfishly, caring and sharing with each other, this world will become beautiful. This world will become heaven. And this is the whole idea, this is the whole mission. Today when George said that he has invited many of his friends, business associates, and well-wishers, and a lot of philanthropists, and those who have the heart to serve, I was very happy because I thought this is how we can build this family stronger, when we come together to serve this common cause of helping somebody whose need is greater than ours. I will close with one message from our Upanishads. Just like you have ancient texts, we have Upanishads, which are our philosophical texts in India, and which believe in the oneness of all creation. I believe it was Pythagoras who traveled to India and learnt about this idea of oneness of eternal soul, and about the idea of reincarnations and how it passes from one life to another. And he is the one who, I believe he learned from the naked sages of India, the wise men. And they call something like gymnosophia or something like that in Greece, which means naked wise men. And they were the rishis, they were the sages of India who taught this message. And this is the message from one of the Upanishads, one of the sacred texts, which says, Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kinchat jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjitha magudha kasya svidhanam. So a simple Sanskrit verse which says, the whole universe is pervaded by the same energy of the Lord, of the God. The same consciousness, the same spirit permeates and pervades all creation. And how do we live when we know that all this is permeated by the same divine self? How do we behave? It answers in the second line and says, therefore, live with sacrifice. Consume with sacrifice. And do not take another man's wealth. What does it mean? Living with sacrifice, we understand. Or we have some extra things, we can give it to somebody whose need is greater. That is living with sacrifice. But what does it mean by not taking another man's wealth? And George is a lawyer, he knows if anybody takes another man's wealth, you will be in trouble. But our Upanishads, our sacred texts, are not so silly or not so petty or not so shallow to say, don't take another man's wealth. Everybody knows we shouldn't do that. We don't need a text for that. We don't need a sage telling us that. But the greater idea of our text is, anything that does not belong to you is truly the thing that you do not need. It means even if you have earned it rightfully by legal means, by effort, by your own business or whatever skills, yet if you don't need as much as somebody else needs it, then it belongs to the one whose need is greater than yours. And if you keep it with you and not share it with somebody whose need is greater, you are doing wrong. You are taking somebody else's wealth. That is what it means. Look at the depth of our philosophy. It's not just about what you own and what you give out of it. It simply says if somebody's need is greater than your need, whatever you have rightfully belongs to that person and not you. This is the depth of our culture and our philosophy. And great philosophers of Greece have worked towards building a better society. Unfortunately, in those times, societies were not ready to listen to them. And many of them had to meet very difficult situations and finally fatal ends. But today the world has changed. Today the voice of truth must be spoken and heard by everyone. And this is the truth, to create a better world for ourselves and for the generations to come, to teach them how one should live, how one should make this world into heaven by sharing and caring. And that is the motto of this mission too. I am very glad to be here in Greece after so many years. It's a beautiful place. We all love music, Indians and Greek. We all love food. So music is over, food is waiting. Both very, very loved by us Indians and Greek people. And I love the music. And I hope they can come to India sometime and perform. Dimitris is our music professor at our university who is teaching Western music to our children. And I'm very grateful for the music program that you presented. And I hope you can come to India and present some program soon in this year. We invite you, we welcome you to come to India. I hope you also, all of you get to visit India and we build better relations between these two countries, which are such ancient civilizations. And we have to show the way to the rest of the world, which is still fighting and warring and quarreling with each other, even in today's times. So praying for a better world, again from an Indian philosophy which says, Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, means may all be happy. Not just me, my family, my people, but everybody be happy. Sarve santu niramaya, may everyone be healthy. We know if one falls sick, everybody can fall sick. So let us pray for everybody's health. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu, let everybody see good and auspicious things everywhere. Let there not be any evil anywhere. And finally, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet, which means may no one have any sorrow. May all live happily. And with this prayer, once again, thanking all of you and acknowledging the efforts of George and the whole family and the entire team of people over here who have organized this program. Thanking the musicians for such a wonderful musical evening. I hope I have not contaminated it with my talk. Your music was beautiful. And I look forward to seeing you all in India. And I look forward to seeing every one of you in India at some point in time. And let us work together to build a better world for you and me and for the generations to come. Let us turn this world into heaven from the hell that it is presently. And hopefully it will happen in our lifetimes with our effort. With God's grace and our efforts, anything is possible. With these words, I conclude. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Swami. Could we please, I don't know if the audience would like to ask you some questions. Could we please? Is anybody from the audience that would like to ask some questions to Sadguru?
The microphone is here. If someone wants to raise their hand, I can give them a microphone.
I think they're all
so
hungry.
Content.
No, they're hungry.
And hungry. So thank you very, very much. Thank you all. Please.